Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be doing a farmhouse centerpiece, so let's jump right in. Here I am starting out with 3 ball mason jars, and those mason jars are 1 32 ounce and 2 16 ounces. I'm going in with an alcohol cleansing pad and wiping those down and then letting them completely dry before we apply our first coat of paint. The paint that I used is an outdoor-indoor multi-surface apple barrel paint in white, and I will leave that in the description box below, so be sure to check that out for supplies that I use. And I'm gonna go in with this paint and go ahead and give this mason jar a good first coat. But we are going to need to do 2 more layers after this first layer. And you can also tell that it is pretty patchy here, but that's okay, we're gonna get it built up. I do actually wish that I had went ahead and used my chalk paint for this, so if you have a chalk paint, I really do suggest that you use this instead of the apple barrel paint for the white color. Now I do not have any complaints for the next color that I use, but the white I just wasn't a fan of. I am just trying to speed up this process and dry it with a heat tool, and that way I can go into my second layer a little quicker. While we let that dry, I'm going to go ahead and show you my boards. The first board was the base, and that was a 1/2 inch by 6 inch cut into a 13 inch. And to get that color, I mixed Timeless Gray and Classic Caramel from the same apple barrel paint, which I will link below. Then for the front and back of this centerpiece, I used a 1x2 cut to 13 inches. And for the sides, I used a 1x4 cut to 7.5 inches. And now I am just going back in and giving my mason jar a second coat. I will not show you these coats for every single mason jar, but I did want to show you just how I paint one of them. I am using a pretty small brush, and it is a synthetic brush. It doesn't leave any harsh lines like a chip brush would, so you definitely would not want to use that. Dollar Tree has a bunch of different brushes as well if you want to pick one of those up. I believe I got this from Hobby Lobby. I am just going in and showing you that I do clean my other 2 glasses with the alcohol. And then I do show you the first layer of this bigger jar. And for this one, I use Warm Buff with that same apple barrel paint. And it did apply much better than the white. I do love this color. And this only took 2 coats versus the 3 coats like the white. I'm sorry for the commotion in the back. I'm a mom, and I have a 3-year-old running around me all the time, and 2 dogs, and a new kitten. So, sorry that you see them running back and forth behind me a little bit. Here's the second coat on that mason jar, and that's all I did was 2 coats. Like I said, it gave it a better paint job than the white did. I did not care for the white too much. And I do go ahead and cover the bottoms of these mason jars as well. That is optional and up to you, but I like a finished product. To glue in these boards, I do use the Loctite Express wood glue. Remember that whenever you use this, to use very small amounts so you don't have any wood glue seeping out. You do see me, I forgot to paint the back of that wood board, and so you see me mixing the two paints there, and again, that's Timeless Gray and Classic Caramel to get the color that I wanted from Apple Barrel. And this paint did come in a 12-pack set from Walmart, and it's called the Farmhouse pack. So I go and let that dry, and while I let that dry, I believe I went and made my Cricut Hello printout so that I would have that for my centerpiece, and you'll see that in just a minute. Like I said, when going in with this glue, use a very small amount. You do not need too much at all. You don't want this to seep out. It's not a real big deal if you do, but it is, you know, just some sanding and extra steps that you probably don't want to take. So just a little bit goes a long way for this. And I didn't notice until this dried really fast and I went back and looked at my bottle that it was an express glue, so I was really happy with it. It dried super fast and let me move on to the next steps pretty quickly. I was just using the side of my table to help me make sure that the board was going on evenly, and that I wasn't leaving any big gap or anything from the front of the base to the board that I was gluing down on it, if that makes sense. I am now going and gluing the sides. There you see my husband. He was watching me and he just decided to pop in and help me hold it, and I was like, no, I got it, thanks. So yeah, I just hold them for a few minutes and they dry pretty quickly. Like I said, I didn't notice it was express until it dried so fast. Here I am going in and distressing our mason jar, and this one didn't have the big ball print on the glass like the other two little ones do. It just has that small one at the bottom. So I just distressed kind of around the glass. I don't know, I still think it turned out great, but it would have been nice to find the ones with the big letters in front. I don't know about you all, but if you do mason jar centerpieces, are you all having a hard time finding mason jars that are the Ball brand? I am. It was last week I went looking for these, and it was just really hard to even find any kind of mason jars. I don't know if they're really popular right now, everybody's grabbing them, or they're just low stock. I'm not sure, but that's why I had to just use this one. Okay, now going back to the wood box, I will tell you that there were some gaps on the sides, so I did go in and fill that in using, it's from Dollar Tree, and it's called lightweight spackling, and I just used that, and it's paintable, so I use that to fill it in, let it dry for a quick minute, which it dries pretty quickly. And then I painted over that, and you can't even tell that there were any cracks. I love the way it sealed it all. Now I'm going in with my Welcome stenciling vinyl, and I couldn't find my Cricut scraper, so I used the end of a paintbrush. Whatever works, you use it, you know? After I get that all peeled off, I am going to take the time to go over each individual letter and make sure they are really well pressed down, because I am going to dry brush over this piece and I do not want any bleeding from the paint So take your time and make sure that you go over each letter and press it down really well. I am using a 2-inch chip brush, which I will leave linked in the description box as well. I get it from Walmart and it's about 97 cents. For the dry brush technique, I am using the Kills chalk paint in white. I can also leave that linked below, and I just got it from Walmart. Around the letters, I do go a little bit more in with the white just so I can make sure that when I peel off my stenciling that it shows really well. And I am doing this dry brush technique all over the box, all around, all at the bottom, inside and out. As you see me doing multiple times throughout this video, I am dipping in my brush and then wiping it on a paper towel, and that's just so that I can really build my way up to what I like on the white part of the painting, instead of going in with too much and then having to sand it off. I'd rather much more build up my white color than to have to take it off. And this is all personal preference on how much dry brush you like and or what colors you use for your projects. I will say I really love the way this turned out. I wanted to keep it for myself, but I actually had someone who ordered this off of me, and it was the only one I made. Obviously I can make another one for me, but I was just really happy and excited with this one. I didn't even want to sell it anymore, but I did, and she loved it, so I'm really happy with that. I have the tendency to paint once my project is put together. Like if I'm doing a overcoat like this, I don't know which would have been easier, doing the whole paint job while it was apart may have been, but I don't know. I feel like I like to see the piece as a whole before I go in and start like dry brushing my pieces. The reason that I am sanding it as well is to blend any harsh lines that I might have created when I was doing the dry brush technique. I didn't have to at all do too much sanding or too much blending, because like I said, I was building my way up to what I like, not just going in really harshly at all. I don't think I needed to have gone in again with the paint over the letters. I think it would have been fine the way it was, but knowing that this was for someone else, I wanted it to be perfect, and I got in my head and went over it again, and I really think it would have just been perfect, and I wouldn't have had to have sanded around the letters if I hadn't gone in again with the white paint. So watch for that. Anybody else get satisfied watching these peel off as much as I do? I love this part every single time I watch it. And throughout this, I am just using a Dollar Tree sanding sponge, which I really love. So grab you some and let me know if you like them as well. I don't know why I turned that so many times, sorry. I have my mason jars ready, and I'm going to kind of try and show you all my setup. I did have my bundles of flowers ready and put together before I even painted this project. I had picked out flowers and kind of organized them the way I knew I would like them, and so that I could just stick them in there whenever I was done with this project. So I had some cotton picks, some different white flowers, and some baby's breath, and I believe they were just some white roses, and they were from Dollar General, I think like at $3 a pick. And I really love the way it turned out. I know the cotton was from Walmart actually, not at Dollar General. I kind of bounced around when I was looking for flowers. And yeah, I think the arrangement came out really pretty, and I was in love with it. Excuse my mess behind this. I just really wanted you all to see the arrangement of the flowers. And then here coming up is how it looks with all 3 mason jars. And then here coming up, you'll see it after I tie some jute cord around it and the final product. Like I said, I love it, and I hope you guys love it as well. If you recreate this or have created one already, let me know. Thank you for joining and watching my video. Please like and subscribe and follow my Instagram. Talk to you later. Bye.